Let's just start it. Let's just start it. If you want it to be short, we gotta rumble through these topics.
Okay, so that means you can't rant for no reason.
I'm gonna probably rant for lots of reasons.
Well, you always rant, and that's why these shows take forever.
That's how I roll, though. I'm a wordy mother trucker. Speaking of, hello and welcome to Two Trolls in a Brew, episode 87. Show title, Welcome Back. That's for you, Travis. Welcome back.
Oh, hi.
Subtitle this
week. Where did I go?
You went to Kansas.
Okay, so I wouldn't welcome back be for last week's episode?
Nope. Because that would have been Welcome Back to Kansas. And as we know, we don't talk about Travis in Kansas. It's like Fight Club.
Awful.
It's like Fight Club. No, it was fun. It was good having you around. It was fun. We had some good times.
But I really dislike being in Kansas.
I know. You complained about it a lot. You're a complainer.
Yeah, that's because it's awful.
I mean, it's not like set your nad hair on fire awful. It's just like mildly unpleasant.
That's not that bad.
Have you ever set your nad hair on fire before?
Yeah, okay, but it was an accident.
I challenge you to set your ball hair on fire and let it burn itself out.
It was on accident because I was holding the lighter to my butthole to see if, farts were actually flammable. And this one caught a little bit and boom, burned hair.
On your balls or your butthole?
Yeah, my balls or my butthole. Either way, the general hair down there.
Okay, that's fine. Moving on.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show, everybody. So no, the reasons I got a few notes here for today's show. So troll cards, which really I think we could probably just skip troll cards this week, because number 2 thing to talk about are Hour of Devastation spoilers. We haven't talked about them at all yet, really, except for I don't even know if we talked about them the one show that they pre super early spoiled, like 4 cards. So we have a few of those to talk about, and then because PPTQ weekend, double weekend is this weekend, I thought we'd have a short conversation about like the state of Standard and what you think the best decks are compared to, like, say, Brad Nelson, who I've always trusted for like metagame. Pulse checking? Is that how would you say that? Like the man's always got his hand on the pulse of Standard.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to the metas.
Okay.
I do what I want to do.
Right. Damn the consequences.
Yeah, pretty much.
Full speed ahead. No torpedoes.
Did you say Gruul speed ahead?
That's right. Gruul speed ahead.
If not Gruul, then die.
This sounds like a flavor text of a Magic the Gathering card. And then I want to play a game sometime. I figure we could play the game instead at the end of the show. We can play the game whenever the hell we want.
Okay.
This week. So do you want to start with the game this week?
What is it?
I want to do a Nicol Bolas off.
Okay. So
Hour of Devastation has 2 Nicol Bolasi.
Yee.
One is Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Grixis mana +4. Comes into play with 7 loyalty counters, but has 4 abilities. So it's got the +2 that flips until you hit a non-land spell or card, and then you can play it for free.
Mm-hmm. That's from your opponent?
Yeah, from your opponent. Then you have +1. Each opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand.
Yep.
You have -4. Nicol Bolas deals 7 damage to target opponent or creature an opponent controls.
Mm-hmm.
And you have -12. Exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls.
Yep.
So that's Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. But you also have Nicol Bolas, the Deceiver, who is Grixis mana +5.
Yes.
And he has 3 abilities and comes into play with 5 loyalty counters. So +3, each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. -7, deal 7 damage to each opponent, and you draw 7 cards. So which one is better? in the vacuum? It is
The first one.
The first one, the God Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Because it's got 4 abilities?
Well, it has 4 abilities, but also those abilities do better?
See, I'm not even sure that's necessarily true. Like destroy creature, draw a card. That's a spell I would pay good mana for. Like
right?
that seems great to me.
Like that ability is basically Ob Nixilis' first 2 abilities.
Right, together.
Yeah. Except you don't have to lose a life.
Right. And I also really like this. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discards.
Right.
Because it puts the onus on them. Which I do enjoy cards like that, especially if you're already playing a deck where like all of their creatures are already dead.
Yeah.
And so it's like discard a card to lose 3 life. And also the way that it's worded, where each opponent, so it's like really good in multiplayer games, like Two-Headed Giant or Commander or anything like that. Like I like this one a lot. I want to agree with you because 1 mana is a lot. So 1 mana less seems good.
Mm-hmm.
And free spell seems good. But the rest of these abilities just don't seem that good to me. Like +1, each opponent exiles 2 cards.
Then don't use them.
It doesn't seem good. 7 damage to a creature or opponent doesn't sound good.
Unless they're at 7 life.
Sure. If you can use it to like fireball them out, it seems good. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just like, I like the idea because since it's a non-land permanent, you like wrath the board and make them like choose between the planeswalker in their hand or the planeswalker on the field.
Right.
To +3. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Nicobolai running around standard. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So, speaking of planeswalkers, why the hell does Nissa have 5 in standard?
So it was one of the things that they were talking about in Mark Rosenbud's. I don't know what Rosenwater's.
Rosewater.
That one. Rosenwater.
There's no N in it.
There is now Rosenwater.
Jeez, you're like those people from like the Northeast that say "wash." I'm gonna wash the dishes. Where did that R come from? You didn't. It doesn't exist. Quit being stupid.
I'm the wash. Okay, so anyway, Mark Rosenwaters. Good idea. Sorry about that.
Idiots.
So anyway, Mark's article, he talked about the fact that they really wanted to build the story around the 5 Gatewatch Planeswalkers, right? They wanted to drive the stories that way. And it turns out people don't like it. So they're undoing that.
Yeah, it's awful. Like, I don't want to see the same 5 Planeswalkers in Standard forever. Like, that's what I like about the Planeswalkers is there's so many of them. Keep playing with the different ones.
Well, and again, I think they had market research that said that people wanted to have a continuous story from block to block.
Put different.
Yes, but the best way and most efficient way to do that would be to have continuous characters.
Then why not? Then why not Tibble?
Again, I think they chose the the Gatewatch 5 for a reason, and I bet they have good reasons. I don't read every article that comes out on the mothership. I probably should get in better habit of doing so, but basically, they have some sort of reasons. They thought it was a good idea at the time, and look, lo and behold, market feedback came back, and it was, hey, we're tired of seeing these same cards in Standard over and over again. That was literally the first thing that you said. And they're like, oh, okay. So starting not this next block, but the block after, I think, they've changed that.
Good.
Right? I could be
wrong.
Are you
talking about Ixalan?
No, I think Ixalan is in, it's still heavy, those guys. I think it's the one after that.
Okay, so is Vraska going to be a Planeswalker? Or is she going to be a legendary creature? Because
I don't know.
I would love to see her lose her spark.
Really? Why?
Well, or maybe is this
Like,
before she got her spark?
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of the stories. I know nothing. The Wizards of the Coast decided to make instead of getting the book in your fat pack, they instead decided to charge like $14.99 for a PDF on
Yeah.
Amazon. So I have not read any of the stories since they stopped doing that.
Oh, they started doing it like that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah. So basically, because like I think if you buy a fat pack, they should give you a QR code to download the bloody book.
Yeah,
Because that's
then
one
I
of the
would
reasons.
actually buy fat packs.
Right. Exactly. That was the whole reason I bought fat packs. Was because it was like, I'll buy a fat pack, I'll get the book, I'll get my 5 packs or 6 packs or whatever it is, and it's gonna be awesome. And then instead they kept fat packs exactly the same price, and they took the book out and they went, if you would like the book, you can go buy one over here for. Now, granted, you don't need to buy 2 fat packs, but it'd be nice to got a freaking book or at least a discount code, something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you bought this fat pack, punch in this code, and instead of it being $14.99, it's $1. Like something.
Right.
But yeah, so since then I haven't read any of the stories. I know nothing. In fact, I was going to actually ask you, do you have any idea what the hell's going on with this Naheb? Like, did he get souped up somewhere? Because he's got another card? Naheb the Internal?
Now that I know that the stories are online, I'm just gonna go download it and I'll tell you later.
Okay, so you're going to read all the magic books for us?
I will start with Amonkhet.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'll just steal your account after you're finished, and then I will read them too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or no, Amazon sometimes has the ability to loan a book. That's fine too. But I'm not buying. I'm not sending Wizards another $14.99 to give me the book that I used to get in a fat pack. That's BS. Bad marketing play.
So basically, for me anymore, the only time I ever buy packs is when I'm drafting.
Agreed. For the most part, and I get enough packs to just open from winning drafts or sealed or whatever, or taking 3rd place after going undefeated. Oh, so salty.
Yeah. How did that work?
So there were 3 undefeateds going into round 4. The lowest seed of the 3 of us got paired down and won and went 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
The top seed and myself were playing, and basically there was a situation where he had that 5/3 like hard to kill flying creature. You know what I'm talking about? Like counters the first spell or ability you try to do on it or something.
Yep.
So I had to save up enough mana to do like 2 things to it at the same turn. And I knew that he had a counter spell, a cancel in his hand, like he flashed it by flicking his cards or something accidentally. Not that it wasn't totally obvious from the way he was leaving his mana up the whole game. So
Yeah.
I was looking for a window where I could force it on his turn and then force it, and kill it on my turn or something. So he ended up winning game 1 after he played a second flying creature. I couldn't deal with both of them in the same turn, which I had to do to live. So he wins game 1. I win a very tight and efficient game 2, like on turn 6 or something. Like I go like 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 2 drop, 2 drop. Like I was very aggressive. Then game 3, again he flashes the counterspell to me, so I kind of play, force him to burn his counterspell early game, and basically we get to a position where I have that recursive 2/1. I forget what it's called. Wandering something or other, maybe.
Dreaded Wanderer?
Yeah, something. I have that guy, and then but otherwise the board state is clear when time is called. Or no, sorry, 2 turns before that, I have a dominant position because I played another Lily. So I've been on like this hot streak of opening lilies in draft for like the last 4 drafts or whatever. It's awesome. I love it. So I had a lily. I regrew like a 6-4, and I already had another beater. And time gets called, and he decides, okay, I'm going to slam the brakes on because there's no way. I think he was at 4 life or something, 6 life maybe. He's like, I'm going to slam the brakes on and go for the draw. That was my opponent's mental decision. So he did. He slammed on the brakes and cleared the board. Right, he cleared the board with blockers, which is fine. I regrew my 2-1, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you in the next 2 turns. And he's like, no, you're not. So, like, I pick up my top 3 cards, and it's like the White God, like another reasonably aggressive creature, and like a Wrath of some sort, like another multiple 2-creature removal spell. I'm like, yeah, you're dead. He's like, no, we were both living off the top of our decks. I would have been fine. Like, not against White God over here, and I've got 17 lands on the field. You were dead. So he's like, just record it as a draw. So I recorded it as a draw and took 3rd place from my absolutely insane deck. That was like, pick 1 Lily. I had multiple Stir the Sands. Like, you saw my deck. It was ridiculous. And then I was like mono black until pack 2 where I opened up the White God. And I'm like, this seems okay. I'll be white black. So aggravating.
Do you remember what happened to me during that draft?
Didn't you like flood out like every game in a row and then you dropped like a pansy?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I just wasn't. I was like,
It was absolutely insane.
I counted it up, okay, and it was like 47 mana in 4 games.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, he sat across from me one match. Yeah, rounds. And I literally like watched. You like tutored for multiple lands and then proceeded to draw like 3 lands in a row. And then you would like tutor for a land again because you had a hungry mana deck. Yeah. And then every time you tutor for a land, you're like, well, I'll go thin my deck 1 more land. What's it going to hurt? And it's like, oh, I'll just put a stack of 3 on top of my deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
That one game against Dan, it's 16 out of the 17 lands in my deck. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's really awful that it took that long for Dan to kill me.
Well, again, to be fair, so we talk about Dan a lot. Dan is my friend who's run into some medical issues. Once the sun sets, his mental facilities drop, so he gets slower and slower as it gets darker and darker. Something with his condition, and he gets super angry. Like, he was telling me, he's like, they started, him and his opponent started round 2 or match 2, right? And he like drew his 7 cards and went, shit, I should have mulliganed. Shit, I should have sideboarded. Like, he didn't realize that he could sideboard until after he drew his cards. Like, that's how much of a delay that his mind has right now. After dark, it's scary to watch because I wonder how much of the same thing's happening to me, like when my migraine flares up really badly. Like how much do I lose? What percentage do I give up because of pains or other distractions? Where if I was pain free, how much better would I play?
Well, scientists have debated this for many years. Apparently, they've come to the conclusion that our brain is very, vital for us to live. Don't know if you heard that or not.
I'm going to get this thing removed. I'm tired of it hurting all the time. Anyways, we have our divination spoilers. Did anything stand out? Have you gotten a check on things?
you're gonna see me go black really quick
Okay.
because
Okay.
I'm about to
Data black
go
chick.
look at the spoilers.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
wait,
go. Okay.
can I?
You should be able to do both.
I
Um,
can dual screen it.
sweet, sweet. So there's a rare that kind of has stood out for me, and I think it's exciting. No, you went away. So I'm curious what you think. I think it's Durju with eyes open. It is a white, and 3 generic for a legendary creature, human warrior with vigilance. He's a 4/3. And when he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a planeswalker, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. If a source would do damage to a planeswalker you control, prevent 1 of that damage. I really like this guy. I don't know how many white planeswalkers there are, but this guy seems like an awesome commander legend to build your deck around if you're like planeswalker. Like I know there's like 12 Gideons.
Yeah.
Plus we have like what, 2 more blocks?
Right.
For
the Gatewatch.
Yeah, for the Gatewatch. So there's probably gonna be like 7 more.
So wait, there's the 4 Gideons currently in standard plus like 2 older ones. So yeah, I think there's 6 Gideons, 2 Elspeths. Isn't there? Is there 1 or
Like
2?
a white. There's like a couple, at least 1 or 2 white Johnnies.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more, but like it just screams to me like a tutor in a can, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems cool. Seems cool. I don't know. You got the thing up. What do you see?
I do love. Okay, you know the defeats are all. Those are all really good. So let's just ignore those.
Okay.
Although did you see the new demon?
I did. Real fast though, on the defeats, if you had to pick one, which one do you think is the better one?
Nissa.
The green one?
Yeah.
Destroy a forest or a Nissa or a green enchantment?
Yeah. No, it's destroy a forest, green enchantment, green plains, or green planeswalker. I think that's really good. Like, if you go to the black one, it's just destroy a black creature or a black planeswalker. Lose 3 life. Or its controller loses. The white one...
See, and I would actually probably say that Jace's defeat would be the best one.
See, but then Gideon's defeat, I think this one's second for me. It's exile target white creature that's attacking or blocking. And if it's Gideon, then you gain 5.
Right. Yeah, I do like that one too. I think I like the ones that are instants over the ones that are not. But I don't know, the Jace's defeat. Some of them are sorceries. The black one, defeat. The green one.
Lily and Nissa's are the only 2 that are.
Is the red one an instant too?
Yeah.
Chandra's defeat. Okay, it is. Yeah, the Chandra's defeat I think is also good. But yeah, I don't know. I think this blue one, because what is it? Whatever the spell is that does this, counter target blue spell, is already good. Right? And it's already played. So just slapping on this extra text that if it was a Jace Planeswalker Scry 2, is just like, oh, here's a card. Here's a functional reprint that's just better. I don't know. I like that. I like that. Gainsay, is that what it's called?
Yes.
That feels correct. So I don't know. I have a feeling this card's going to see a ton of play. So anyway, so skipping the defeats. Now that we talked about them for a minute, what else do you like?
You know that we've talked about them in depth. Let's ignore them.
Let's ignore them from now on.
So I like
the Reckonings. Oh, go ahead. What do you
got? The Resolute Survivors. Have you seen that one?
What color is it?
red and white. So
Okay, so let me scroll down here.
colorless, red, white. It's a 3/3. You may exert resolute survivors as it attacks, obviously. Whenever you exert a creature, resolute survivors deal 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'd take
Yeah,
it.
this is straight up what Hell Rider that's maybe a bit slower, but with upside of exerting.
And it's because Hellrider hit every other attacking creature. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Hell Rider is every. Hell Rider is they take 1 point of damage for each attacking creature.
Okay.
So I guess it's more brutal Horde Chief since
You're gonna say
they
because
gain
you gain life, right?
right.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to this card actually. I guess they had to add that flavor text line in there because there are several creatures now that can exert with a tap ability, like Verdant Paincaster.
And the kitty.
And the new what? The Pride Kitty? Yeah, the Pride Sovereign.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're adding these other abilities. Basically, I like what they did with Exert here. Instead of it just being something that happens as you attack, you can also change it to an activated ability. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited by this, and that makes some of these other things a lot sexier.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I have a question really quick.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you start the game with Prominence in your hand.
Okay.
And so you reveal it, and your starting life total becomes 26. Okay?
Right.
Now, later on in the game, Oketra's Last Mercy, it says your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap. So, if you start the game with Prominence in your hand and then you reveal Oketra's Last Mercy, does that mean your life goes back up to 26 when you cast it?
So I'm not 100% sure. I think I saw a post on one of the Judge Facebook groups that it would do that, but they also had a caveat of you have to wait for the release notes to be sure, or whatever you want to call it, to be 100% sure on stuff like that. But right now, I'm under the impression the answer is yes, because it specifically makes your starting life total 26. Because you have to, you do it before the game officially really starts.
Yeah.
So,
but see, Providence, it says at the beginning of your upkeep, your life total becomes 26.
Does it? I thought it said dang it! Now you got to look it up. Too many words. Why do you do this to me?
Because number one, I am a troll, and number two, I am a brewer of. I don't brew good ideas. I brew bad ones, and make people hate me.
You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of your first upkeep, your life total becomes 26. So let's look at the gather discussion. Yeah, there's nothing. So I'll double check. Freaking, God, I hate you sometimes. Like, this is one of those things where, again, this could be totally different by the time you look it up. Yeah, it doesn't really say. All right, well, never mind. You'll have to wait until the official notes come out.
Yeah. All right, I guess I'll just have to.
On the Mercies, what do you think of the Mercies in general?
I like them.
I do too.
Like, it slows you down for a turn, but
it's a powerful
do something
effect,
powerful.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, especially the green one for Modern.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask about. I think my favorite one so far is the black one.
Yeah, the black one's great. I'm going to use that in my Metalwork Colossus deck because, well, I have mana rocks.
Right.
Speaking of mana rocks, did you see the Nicobolus one?
I have not. I haven't made it all the way through the.
Oh, go to the artifacts.
Is that
Enjoy my life.
Enjoy your life. Is that the Sunset Pyramid?
No.
No. What's the mana rock?
Go to MTG Salvation.
I'm on MTG Salvation. I'm looking at they have 3 artifacts spoiled.
Oh well, then you're looking at the
Mirage Mirror and Sunset Pyramid.
How does your MTG Salvation have 1 less artifact than mine?
Oh no, here's another one down at the very, very bottom. They didn't group them by artifacts for some reason. All right.
Maybe it's because it's part of the intro deck.
Maybe. So for generic artifact, when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library and/or graveyard for a card named Nicobolus the Deceiver, and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Add one of the Grixis colors to your mana pool. So with this card in mind, does this make the Nicobolus the Deceiver any stronger?
I don't know. Like, I think it's just like all the other fetches. It'll allow you to have just 1 in the deck with the potential to have 4 or 5 chances to get it.
Well, and you could still run like 4 of the other Nicobolus and then 1 of that, and then still run this mana rock.
Yeah. Right.
I'm on board.
By the way,
let's see out of there. What?
I picked up a playset of Dark Imitations because I feel like they might jump.
Which one's that?
One? That's the one from before Almond Cat, whatever set that was. Ether Revolt.
All right.
5 and Grixis. Basically.
Oh, that. Okay, like it's the baby Nicobolus card, and it like goes and finds a Nicobolus, puts it in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember. Yeah, there's a lot of these cards people are predicting are going to jump. I don't think we're going to see any like real movement until October or whenever it is when the next block comes out and the big standard rotation happens.
Right.
Because some of these other cards are just too good to worry about, you know. But this could be very cool. So I don't know, whatever. We'll see. One last card I want to ask you about. Dan, in particular, is very excited for this run-up excavator. That is the green and 2 generic for the 2/3 Naga that lets you play land cards from your graveyard. How excited are you for this one?
It's just a Crucible of Worlds.
Just a Crucible of Worlds, but it has legs.
Yeah, it gets bolted.
It does get bolted, but there's not a bolt in standard.
Technically, there is.
Technically,
open fire.
That doesn't have the word bolt in it.
No, but it does 3 damage to target creature player.
But it's not a bolt.
Granted, it also costs 3 mana.
Oh boy!
Just give me lightning bolt.
I know, right? Wizards, come on! Oh no, I like.
You gave us fatal push. Give me lightning bolt.
We don't have as many fetches as I would like in standard, but because this costs a single green, you could run. There are some fetches. I don't know. We'll have to see. Also, we now have cycling lands.
Yes.
So they're a little bit more expensive than the previous ones that cycled for or tapped for came into play tapped and tapped for a single color mana. I think they should have been either came into play untapped or cycled for a single mana.
Like the old ones from Onslaught?
Yeah. See, the old ones from Onslaught, they cycled for a single mana, but they came into play tapped. So these are functional reprints that are worse.
Yes.
And I think you should, if you're going to do that, you should have made them not worse. Like either make them cycle for a single generic, or make them cycle for a single red, or make them cycle for double of the, or sorry, not double red, but double their color.
Yeah.
Come into play untapped. Like you didn't want to make them worse. You wanted to keep them the same. And this is just, I don't know.
It's worse.
And they are worse. Much, much worse.
I'm still going to draft them.
Sure. I mean, why not? Like, more cycle lands, more better. So of the things that you have seen, besides Nicol Bolasai, what are you most excited about? The single most exciting card?
Kitty.
The kitty?
The Pride Sovereign.
So we have a lot of people here that are actually very excited with the idea that they'll be able to make a cat tribal in Standard. I don't think there's that many cats.
Yeah, there is.
But I think you could do some pretty cool cat tribal stuff in Modern. Good cats. Sorry, good cats.
Oh, then you're correct. I mean, if you go with the token route with it, then I think you can, because you have the two cats that, the one that embalms, the other one that energizes.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Cat Lord who makes tokens, and then you have the Pride Sovereign who makes tokens. So that's like 16 cards that make tokens. Anointed Processions.
Okay.
So you can just go incredibly wide with the deck.
Yeah, but it all just dies to the Pyroclasm.
Not if you have Heroic Intervention.
I actually am kind of excited for Uncaged the Menagerie.
Because if you put Heroic Intervention in the deck,
he's
then
not going to change the subject.
Become indestructible, and that has a cat art on it.
That's probably why they did that.
Cat Tribal.
Cat Tribal, whatever. We'll see. First of all, you didn't even run the best cat. That 3/1 untapped
the God.
Cat. No, the 3/1 untapped cat.
I have 2 invocations of the God.
You do, I saw. I saw you also try to sell them. Like someone's like, man, I need one of these. And you're like, I got 2 of them for sale.
I have 1 of them for sale.
Anyway, Uncaged the Menagerie. What do you think of this card?
I don't know what to do.
Green, green, and X. Search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that each have converted mana cost X. Reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your library.
Oh.
So if you pay
pretty fun.
2, then you go get 2 2-drops with different names to put them in your hand. 3,
yeah,
3 3-drops.
Right.
I mean, this thing, I think up to 4 4-drops. I think this card has a lot of really interesting potential if you can build around it.
Commander, here we come.
Right? Like the problem is you can't go get 6 2-drops.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. It's got to be equal to the X.
Yeah, but what if you fork it 4 times?
That's okay. I stand corrected. Maybe you can get a whole bunch. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so shut up. Or you play Pyromancer's Ascension, and boom, copy it twice. Oh wait, shit. Never mind, Commander.
I really like the idea of casting this thing for like 3. I feel like there's enough really good 3-drops in Standard that this card could be amazing. It definitely. This is a card that I'm really excited to like first pick in a draft and see what you can do with it.
Yeah.
Like
just build around. Oh my god, I want to do that now.
Well, I mean, think about it. So just looking at the spoiler page, you could go get a Pride Sovereign, the ramp run up excavator. Like those are 3s in green. This Sidewinder Naga, like boom, 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 right? Like easy peasy. If you're like also like white green, you can pay 4. Go get what? Both gods, right? And then you can go get two other 4 drops,
Gross.
right? Like, I mean, this card seems nuts. I don't know if it's actually good because you're spending 6 mana to draw 4 cards, but in green, that's kind of what you want to do, right?
But those 4 cards won't be lands. So I'm on board.
For the first time ever, Travis is going to draw not a land. The last thing I want to kind of talk about from these spoilers are the new split cards. They're giving us 4 so far. Claim, Fame, Reason, Believe, Grind, Dust, Driven, Despair. And I really like this Reason to Believe card. A single blue as a sorcery for 3.
Oh, yeah.
And then 5 mana, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, put it into play. If not, draw it. Like, the sheer fact that you can just... And I think it might be a rare, too, actually. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is.
The Reason side is just so good. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. Scry 3 for a single mana.
Yep.
That's crazy. And then have this insanely powerful back end later.
I think it's going to be relevant in Modern with Infect.
Maybe. I don't know. It's really difficult for Infect to get to 5 mana to do the other half. I think the other half makes it worth it.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to use it for the other half. I think they're just going to set up their first 4 turns.
Maybe. I mean,
it set up the first.
Good.
Like, depending on their hand, they may just set up their first 2 turns and then just win, and then use the aftermath side. Just exile it with Become Immense.
I mean, it's all possible. I said I'm very impressed by that card in particular. I'm looking at Standard and of course Draft. Like a lot of these split cards, you don't want to first pick in Draft, in my opinion, from the previous set. Because there's no good reason to put you into 2 colors in the previous set. But this is
commit to memory. Or no, spring to mind.
I wouldn't first pick Spring to Mind either. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. Even if my rare is really bad. I don't think so.
I first picked a foiled Spring to Mind.
Well, you're braver than me. All right. Well, let's see. What else we have?
When it comes to
Uh-oh, your phone's starting to give out a little bit, internet-wise. Rub it on your wiener. So we have a couple of messages in the live chat here. Gabrielle wants to know what we're talking about. We're talking about Magic the Gathering. This is our podcast, Two Trolls and a Brew, that you can check out live, usually on a Thursday, depending on Travis's work schedule, here at youtube.com/SamusGarobo. Oh my gosh, Travis is now a still. Oh, he's all black screen.
Yeah, I took off Wi-Fi.
Ah, sweet. Okay, so real fast here, I want to just kind of run down these decks to beat in Standard. According to Brad Nelson, I want you to tell me if these decks are in fact dangerous or not.
According to me?
According to you. Are these decks that I should expect to see at the local PPTQs?
Probably.
If so, are they dangerous? Spell Queller Vehicles.
I don't know. Yeah, ooh, maybe.
That's blue-white cars. I think it's a very interesting deck. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen the deck list, but I hate Spell Queller, so I hope not to see it.
Okay. Green-white mid-range.
What's that?
Well, I'm assuming it is like...
is it Cat Tribal? Expect it.
Definitely Cat Tribal.
All right, then expect it to be there.
PPTQ. Black-white zombies?
For me, that's not really a big deal because I have a ton of life gain.
Okay. For the rest of us?
Oh, just put some life gain in your deck.
Okay. Then he has whatever Sam Black's playing.
That's generally a bad thing.
Green Black Delirium.
I think that's going to. I think that deck is going to die
This
because of all
weekend?
the hate. Oh, this weekend?
Yeah, this
I don't.
weekend.
Oh no, then no. I mean, then it'll be there, but it's still easy to get rid of.
I tend to agree. I think the Black Green Delirium deck's not what it was. Um, Blue Red Control.
I have issues with that.
So it's dangerous in your mind.
Yeah,
Okay. Green Red Pummeler.
that's actually one of the decks that I have troubles with.
Mardu Vehicles.
Easy to beat.
Mono Black Zombies.
Easy to beat.
Teamer Energy.
That's similar to Marvel, so it's not that bad.
The lists that I've seen, the Teamer Energy are closer to Pummeler lists, with a little bit more mid-range and off the combo.
You know what? If they go later into the game, that's better for me.
And then number one most dangerous deck, Green Black Energy.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it. So let me see if I can pull up a quick list here, because I tend to think this is a very good list right now. It's Walking Ballistas, Glint Sleeve Siphoners, Long Tusk Cubs, Winding Constrictors, Rishkar Prima Renegade, Tireless Trackers, Virtuous Gill Hulks, Nissa Voice of Zendikar, Attune with Aether, Blossoming Defense, Fatal Pushes, Grasp of Darkness Eye.
So board wipe and you're good.
Maybe. I don't know. I was actually thinking about not playing the deck that I was planning on playing this weekend. I had some trouble with Marty vehicles to the point where I kind of got frustrated with my deck. I think sideboard, I'm probably in much better shape. But game ones felt like I just couldn't deal with a turn to. What's that vehicle that like is a 4/4 vigilance?
Heart of Quran.
Yeah, that one.
Or
Heart of
Kieran.
Kieran.
Yeah,
Heart
not Heart of Quran.
Heart of Quran, something different. That's what they yell right before they blow up. Anyway,
In their vehicles.
in their vehicles. Right before
Dark
the car
humor.
bomb
Let's
goes
do
off.
this.
So I was looking at this list because I think I have most of these cards actually. I think about putting it together and giving it a shot. Like it looks like a lot of fun.
Have you thought about playing Metalwork Colossus?
Actually, after you playing your list against me, I felt like your deck is actually very, very strong. Surprisingly so. The problem with that deck, I feel, it's very much either you win or you lose.
Well, yeah, that's why I love it. It's a glass cannon.
And I would like something that's like maybe a little bit more, gives a little bit more range, maybe. Or like maybe, so with your deck, from what I saw, right, and grain of salt, however you want to put it. From what I saw, it felt like you knew whether you won or lost after your first mulligan.
Yeah.
Basically. So, like, if you mulligan to, if you couldn't keep your 7 because it didn't have what you need, and you mulligan to 6 and it still didn't have what you need, you basically knew the game was over.
Yep.
Because mulling to 5 basically just put you in a position where it's so hard for you to win. Like, I'm sure you could do it, but it just felt like, meh.
Yeah.
So it really feels like you have to have at least the right 6 cards to kind of go. Even though those 6 cards aren't necessarily you have to have X, Y, Z, Q, whatever. It just kind of felt like you have to have these cards. Where something a little bit more, and I have that same issue with my deck, right? The deck I've been playing. It's like you have to have an accelerator on turn 2. You pretty much have to have some sort of fixer on turn 1. And then you have to have either like one of your awesome 5 drops or a way to go wide on turn like 4.
Okay.
That's the whole point of that deck. And I just felt like being forced into mulligan decisions basically off of, do you have one of these 8 cards in your deck? Or your deck just doesn't work.
More or less, what I look for opening hand is Prophetic Prism or the Metalworker's Puzzle Nut.
Right, you're looking for a mana dork that draws you a card. Because it's 2 mana, and it draws you a card.
Right.
So, and again, it's the same kind of situation. You're looking for one of 8 cards in your deck.
Yeah.
Out of your 7 cards.
Yeah.
Plus you got to make sure you have 2 lands to play such a thing.
Sometimes I keep it with 1 land.
Sure. Like, we played a lot of games. And to be fair, you had a very, very good win percentage against me. To be fair, I had an extremely good likelihood of drawing nothing but lands.
Yes, you did.
Like, whatever Travis had Friday night at the draft that we talked about earlier, I had during our playing together.
He straight up stole that. Or like he like raped the flood on me.
I'm like, I'm done with this flood. You take it. Your turn.
No, I don't want it.
But
ironically, this flood's going in dry.
But something like this green-black energy that gives you a little bit extra play in the middle, like you can get that nut hand where you're just like Long Tusk Cub, Winding Constrictor, Rishka Prima Renegade, and just like 15 you on turn 3, bro. Or whatever it is on turn 3, and you're just like, eh. Like it has that nut hand, but then it has things I feel like gives it some mid-range range.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. And again, because it's not running something like 4 3-mana lilies, which I don't have. Like it feels like it's a lot more likely that I can play this deck. So I don't know. I'm thinking about audibling to this. But also the Team Re-Energy deck looks really good. I have it up also. It's very similar, except replace all the really good black cards like Winding Constrictor and Glint Sleeve Siphoner for really good red cards like Glorybringers and Chandra Torch of Defiance. So I don't know. I'm on the fence both ways, but you know I love me a main deck confiscation coup. Boom. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to do.
So a confiscation coup kind of brings me to a troll card of the week.
Okay.
So I was playing Commander on Wednesday.
Okay.
Just like pretty much all day. And I played with my soon-to-be incredibly revamped pirate deck, where currently it's mono blue and Thassa, God of the Sea, is the commander. And basically everything in the deck is either, like, the creatures are pirate lore based, so obviously pirates, krakens, octopus, leviathans.
You gotta have some crab in there, right?
Nope.
Mermaids.
I do have one mermaid, Empress Galena.
Okay.
And that brings in the rest of my deck, which, if the artwork doesn't have something pirate related, what the card does is either steal something or no, that's it, steal something. I gain control of it. So my card of the week is Mind's Dilation.
Mind's Dilation.
Yes. That is the 7-mana enchantment from that other set. It's whenever an opponent casts his or her first spell each turn, you exile the top card of their library, then you may cast that without paying its mana cost at instant speed.
Okay.
So I was playing a big 4-game commander, and one of my opponents played Rule of Law. I was like, You know what would be funny? If before you cast your spell, I cast something of yours. And I ended up just ruining everybody's life with that card because they couldn't do anything about it. And then I ended up taking out two guys at the same time, and then the other person, he was at like 150. So it was an uphill battle for me. But luckily he played an Emeria Shepherd. I think that's what it was. The one where if you play a land, you know, the landfall, return a
Right.
permanent to your hand. So every time I played a land, I just got a permanent back. And every time he played something, I just took it with the landfall trigger.
Well, it sounds like you had some fun games of Magic.
Yeah.
I think one of these days I should make you like. So we stopped by a pet store, and they recommended some stuff I'm going to try to like make the dogs go to sleep.
No. Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's dog weed basically, and
Yeah.
basically I want to try that because Travis was in town. So we're gonna quickly audible here for a little bit. But Travis was in town for those of you who missed it, and he came over to the house to work on his van. But my wife was like, "Why can't Travis come inside?" And I'm like, "Because the dogs will literally murder my head and my ears if a stranger, especially someone that looks like Travis, walks into the house. They're like trained to like go after ghetto rednecks. I don't know where can we put your classification in there?
See, it's so difficult to describe me because, like, all of my clothes are black, so that kind of puts me in, like, the goth category. But also, like, I'm kind of a hippie.
Right? I would agree.
And I'm also very central with politics. So, like, I agree with both some of the conservative and liberal views.
Right.
I'm a nerd who likes to work out, and yeah, it's so difficult to define me.
Oh, I mean, physically, right? So, white guy with a shaved head, covered in tattoos, with a giant beard, but all the tattoos are nerd tattoos.
Yeah,
Basically, I mean, not all, but most of them. And
like
it's
I
like
think, yeah,
the slash at your throat's probably the most aggressive one.
yeah, but that's a Jolly Roger too. It's like a
Right.
bloody Jolly Roger.
So I mean, it is weird. So I don't know. It is difficult, but anyway, the point is, I'm hoping to be able to put the dogs to sleep. They calm down, sleep, actual sleep, mellow, chill pills, and then have somebody that's much more commander oriented go through my pile of crap over here and build me a commander deck.
Oh, I would love to do that.
I know you would. But unfortunately, getting Travis like more than 15 minutes of Travis's time when he comes to visit, when you're me, like I can get him for hours on the podcast, right? That's not a problem. But if he comes to visit, he's like, "Oh, I'm spending the day here," or "Oh, I'm spending the day there," or "Oh, hey, can I borrow these movies and not return them and go visit this girl?"
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. By the way, Joe has the movies at your house.
Oh, I love it. Anyway, that's this week's show, everybody. Again, samusgarobo.com for this and all past episodes. You can check us out at the youtube.com/samusgarobo, twitter.com/samusgarobo, twitter.com/turtlepower319 for Travis. That guy. Twitch.samusgarobo for the live stream, etc. Send us an email to the number 2 trollsbrew@gmail.com. And then the only other thing I want to know from you, Travis, was did you successfully make it all the way through the 7 seasons of the whatever Kimmy Schmidt show without crashing, burning, and dying, and 2, not slitting your own throat, because I thought that show was terrible.
Oh, I think the show is hilarious.
Oh, I can't stand that show.
And I ended up watching like the first 2 seasons. I finished both, the first 2 seasons, and then I was like, oh man, I really need a different form of comedy. So I always have the copy of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on my micro SD or an SD card or an external hard drive. I always have that movie with me.
The movie?
So,
the new movie?
Yeah, the one from like 2000 something
with the
Hobbit.
With the Hobbit. I was actually trying to think of
Zoe Deschanel.
No. Lance Gruber as the robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I always have that movie on me.
Okay, that seems like an odd movie to always have on you, but
have you ever met me? I'm an odd person.
To be fair, I always have American Pie within arm's reach basically at all times. So
right.
I love that movie. American Pie, Eurotrip.
So a great story about it. The highway that I was on going through Nebraska was 83 north or 2 north. I can't remember. It was awful is what it was.
Right. You weren't paying attention. You were watching a movie as you were driving.
Yeah, like every reasonable citizen should do.
I hate you.
So the highway itself is just a 2-lane highway all the way through.
Okay.
And there was road construction. So, of course, during the road construction, they end up stopping one lane of traffic, directing the opposite lane to go through, and then once that driver's all the way through, they take the stop lane all the way, back, and just do that all day. So one of the stops that I got to, there was this construction worker, and she was just standing there, and I was like, man, she is bored as hell. So I pulled right up next to her, and I'm like, hey, you want to watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt with me? She's like, what's that show? And I'm like, oh, well, you're in luck. So I started the episode over, and she said that it was probably one of the best 20 minutes of work that she has ever done.
Oh, man.
It was a good time.
It's crazy. All right, guys. So don't be like Travis. Please pay attention while you're driving as a person who's had a loved one ran over by a car. But to be fair, that wasn't on the interstate. That was in town where people should pay attention.
Also, side note, as I found out on the way back to South Dakota, cows do like beef jerky.
Troll on everybody.
Troll on everybody.